A white man came into my comments on my other account the other day when I was live, and he said that we will put you back in chains. You will be enslaved again. And these type of comments are very telling of the deep desires that many white people have. They all love these slave movies because they all want to have the experience of owning a nigga. And they love the idea of slavery coming back. But the bad news is that nigga has expired. You'll never get that brand of Negro again. White man, sorry. You'll never see that day again. That was a one off. You'll never get that off again. Trying to wrap a nigga up in bondage today, it's impossible. Because for one, black people today would never, you never see black trolls in like white spaces where white people are having lives and talking about white people shit. You don't really have the dynamic that black people we experience with our accounts, whether it's just posting content or going live. If we're having conversations that are not in favor of white people tend to come in and troll, 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 troll. If we're having conversation that just doesn't even include white people, they want to come in and troll the fucking comments, troll the goddamn live. And you're a grown ass man, and you're so white and superior, right? In your mind. Why the fuck are you on nigga lives? Why are you on nigga content pages? Why the fuck don't you just keep scrolling? I would never sit on a white man's live and fucking troll. I don't want to hear you. I don't want to see you. What the fuck is going on?
Yo, what's up everyone? It's your boy JC React again. Welcome back to the channel. Guys, listen this carefully. This video right here went crazy. A white man said something wild to a black man and they instantly regret it. Kendry, let's talk about what went down and why it happened and what we can learn from it, because this right here is a reason in a respect. I will be right back, guys.
So white people will never leave black people alone, and I'm gonna tell you why. White society's obsession with black people isn't new, it's centuries old. If you think about slavery, colonialism, and exploitation, from the start, white wealth in America was built off the backs of black bodies. Sugar, cotton, tobacco, rice. This wasn't just economics, it was a system where white people's very identity was shaped around controlling and owning and watching black bodies. But here's the wild contradiction in all of this, right? While trying to dehumanize us, white culture has always been obsessed with us, right? They copied our music, our style, our language, our food, even our rhythm, all while denying us basic rights. Think about jazz and rock and hip hop and fashion, all born out of black genius, only to be taken, watered down, and sold back to the world with a white face on it. So why can't they just stay away? Because in a system that is built both on exploitation and envy, distance is impossible. White supremacy depends on keeping black people in place, close enough to use, control, or imitate, but never free enough to threaten the hierarchy. It's a sick paradox, fear and fascination at the same damn time. On a psychological level, it's projection. White folks will project their guilt, their fear, and their insecurities onto blackness, and then turn around and crave the very life, culture, and resilience they try to destroy. It's like they want the sauce, but not the struggle. Now, to be real, not every white person acts like this, but the system, the way whiteness has defined itself against blackness, makes it so this obsession keeps resurfacing. Whether it's over policing or culture appropriation or trying to legislate our lives, it always comes back to the old need to dominate mixed with a quiet desire to be what they can't.
Capital. Well, how'd you establish that capital? You established that capital through free fucking labor. Slavery, right? Your favorite fucking act in history. Your claim to fame. The white man's fucking glory days. Yeah. So you wouldn't have a welfare system without fucking capital. And you wouldn't have capital without free labor. Slavery. So leeching off the white man. Hey, white man, I got a question. What the fuck are you talking about? Leeching. You have not organically provided anything that didn't include someone else's blood. So whatever you give and whatever is taken is just a fraction of what the fuck you owe. Welfare is no fucking recompense for slavery. Never will it be. So you giving niggas a couple fucking shillings with the fucking clause that they better not work or better not make a certain amount. You better not have a man in the house. You better be in a fucking poverty line. Oh yeah, gee thanks. Gee thanks. You're giving government aid to people who don't have much and can't have much once they get the government aid. And once they start to gain a little bit of independence, government aid is gone. Whoa, gee thanks, white man. I guess that compares tremendously to fucking hundreds of years of goddamn free slavery, blood, sweat, and fucking tears. Just to wake up and have white motherfuckers call you lazy. Who's lazier, the slave or the goddamn slave master? Who's lazier? The motherfucker coming in and working his ass off till he fucking dies, right? In the name of fear of death and submission? Or the motherfucker who's yielding muskets, whips, horses, and a unified white devil fucking faction to indefinitely enslave a specific people in the name of free labor and fucking financial gain and benefit? Which is more lazy? Leeching? I implore you, white snake fucking liars, to concoct a truth in history where anybody, let alone black people, leached off of white people. And then you have the nerve to talk about mud huts. Remember, you filthy fucking disgusting Europeans had 7 black plagues. You almost wiped out your entire population. 1/3? 1/3 of you motherfuckers died off after the Moors cleaned you up, after the Inquisition, into the late 1800s. You had black plagues. You were throwing shit and piss out the fucking window. You were using cat skins to hold water. You would sleep next to animals in the house. Lice and scabies and rashes. You didn't bathe but twice a year, maybe if you got married. Once a year was the custom, was the norm. You didn't even know hygiene. Mud huts. You lived in shit huts. Your streets were caked with shit. Remember the London stink? Remember that? Remember that, white man? Remember the London stink that happened like, oh, I don't know, like around the 1800s? When slavery's at its peak, when you're trying to brainwash black people that you're superior, meanwhile back at the ranch in London, you have a river of fecal matter, piss, and dead animals in the 1800s. You're filthy. So no matter what mud hut that you're gonna fucking throw out there about you're gonna go back to mud huts. Okay. At least it's made from mud. At least it's not made with shit. At least they don't shit in those mud huts. They don't piss in those mud huts. They don't shit on the streets where those mud huts are aligned. At least those Africans never had a fucking black plague because they didn't wash their ass or their hands or their face or their mouth. At least they can show their beautiful black skin. You can't even show your skin. Look at all your old paintings of each other. Look at your old fucking pictures. You gotta cover your neck, your wrist, every fucking thing. All you Yankee Doodle fucks had disgusting skin. Mud huts? At least it's made from organic earth. At least the mud hut will ground you, balance you with the fucking chakras. But if I walk through old Europe and my feet are caked in piss and shit, and I go into your old European nasty fucking house, and you guys are shitting and pissing in the hallways like your fucking kings were doing. Remember that? Remember all your royals were in the palaces, shitting in the fucking palace hallways and pissing? It didn't matter what class of you filthy fucks that you fell into. You were disgusting in all levels and all classes. Mud huts? I'll take a mud hut any fucking day over the shit-caked, piss-infested streets of Europe. This is for the record and for the slow slow fucking hillbilly trolls in the back, all you white trolls, this is for you, because you're not hearing it. You're on my fucking goddamn videos, but you're not hearing it. You're in the comments, but you're not fucking listening. I'm gonna spell it out slow for you. Nobody wants you to patronize black business. I only brought up how you purposely will not patronize a black business just to spite the black business, because that's the nature of you goddamn devils, right? Because you forced integration collectively to stop black business. A lot of you can come in here and say, we didn't force you. I don't know if you're born at night or last night, or if you're just, your white brain cells aren't collecting together fast enough. What the fuck do you know about anything if you don't think they forced integration on black people?
I think we're entering the darkest hour for Black America ever. I do think that what we're about to enter is going to be worse than slavery. And the big reason for that is because people aren't even aware of how unfree they are at this point in time. We are actually all more fucked than Assata Shakur. Like, all of us. And like I said, I've been on a watch list since I was 13. I'm not gonna go into why that is, but I've been on a domestic terrorist watch list since I was a child. Assata Shakur was also on was labeled a domestic terrorist, and Trump just signed an executive order to basically label all of us on this app as domestic terrorists. But what's even worse is that right now we actually have less organization, less movement, less capacity, less commitment than at any point in American history. Because people think, well, as long as I get money, I'll be fine. They're gonna run up in your fucking job, sis. They're coming in your job to snatch you. And I don't talk about this a lot, you know, because being a black woman with foresight, much in the same vein as Octavia Butler, I've been telling y'all this since 2020. Like 2019, I was like, oh, pattern recognized. Handmaid's Tale is actually not as bad as it's gonna be. Because Handmaid's Tale is actually just what it's gonna be for like wealthy white women. Do you guys realize the rest of us are going to them camps? And the craziest thing is y'all are like, they're not gonna get me, they're not gonna get me. They're gonna get you. You don't even know how to survive in the woods. How the fuck do you think Assata got to Cuba? Like, how do you think she physically moved her body to Cuba? How do you, like, you don't have not a singular survival skill. You're not a part of a single organization. You don't have no friends. You are a worker drone. You're a worker drone in a country that has decided that you're a domestic terrorist. You can't put your head down any further and avoid the scrutiny of Big Brother's eye. His eye is on us all, you guys. And it's frustrating. Here's what I'm gonna say. I've been feeling called to leave social media. I no longer see any value that this app has, and I encourage all of you to leave social media and go outside. That, I think social media is actually hindering us from movement building, from actual organizing. It is taking too much of our time. It is distracting us. It is distracting because even organizers think they need to be on social media to reach people. No, that is not what the purpose of this app is. And it's not going to work in that sense. I think all of us need to wake up. It's time to like snap back to reality and get serious, because once you tip the scale, which has been tipped, but once you tip the scale from, if I do everything right, if I assume a submissive position, if I do not resist, and if I go along to get along, I will still be captured by the state. You now have no choice but to you have to now resist. I'm not gonna say too much, but that is where we are. Or be content to die in the camp. Those are the only two options. And I think it's really hard for humans to like process like long-term situation reality. But like, if you're not leaving the country, if you don't have at least $75,000 in cash right now, you cannot get out this motherfucker. I'm telling you right now, you're stuck here with us. And yeah, if you don't have the money to leave, you're stuck here. You're gonna get either captured or you're gonna, like, that's it. Like, that's it. Because none of us are, they have a record. They know who is a Nazi and who's not. And most of you are not Nazis. So you're gonna end up in the camp. And this is a country that has no problem committing G-sides. I need y'all to wake up. We are at the point where all of us must either commit revolutionary suicide or prepare to go the way of that young woman in V for Vendetta. I'm giving you as much game as I could give you. Okay? That's it, that's all. That's it. There's quite literally only two options. And I need y'all to choose. I need you to make a choice today. Today's the day. If you were looking for the day of, oh my God, are we going to do it or not? It's today. Today's the day.
So guys, actually here it is what went down. The white guy started talking freak. Maybe he thought it was a joke. And maybe he thought he could say whatever he wanted. Imagine guys, this is tragedy. But he messed it up when he said something racist and disrespectful to that black man, and right after he said it, you could see it in his face and he knew his message. Oh my God, this is very, very crazy. He messed up and the black man didn't even have to do much exactly. The energy changed fast. Guys, listen it carefully. That's what happens when you cross the lines exactly. Honestly, my first thought was like, why would you even say that? Very nice questions. You could just keep quiet. Some people don't realize that words can get enough exactly in trouble and real quick. You can't walk around saying anything you want to people and expected no reaction. Guys, this is very understandable. Especially when it's something that disrespects someone's race, cultures, or dignity. And let's be real, guys, let's be honest. And a lot of folks think they can joke around until they meet the wrong ones. Immediately, this is understandable, I'm telling you. That's when they learn the hard way. You know, this whole thing just shows how powerful respect really is. Exactly. When you respect people, no matter who they are, you don't end up in this situation like this. Immediately, this is truly understandable. I'm telling you guys. Guys, this wasn't about color alone. It was about energy. The white man came in disrespect and he got humbled instantly. The black man kept his composure. Perfect. But you could tell he wasn't praying some things, and sometimes people learn that lesson only once. This is very understandable and very clear. And trust me guys, they never forget it. Guys, the internet went off after this script dropped. Black Twitter was on fire. Oh my God, imagine. TikTok comments going crazy. Oh no. People were saying stuff like, that's what happens when you learn your move. And he thought it was a game till reality checked him. Oh no. Guys, this is very shocked. Some folks said it was karma in real times. Others said we shouldn't cheer for conflict, but most people agreed. You can't disrespect people and expect peace. Exactly. This is understandable. Everyone knows that. It's 2025. People are done staying quiet when someone crosses the line. The real reason here is simple, guys. Watch your mouth fast and treat people not right. Exactly. You never know who you are talking to. Everybody knows this. And or what they have been through. The world is tired of seeing disrespect, racism, and hate. Very understandable. And this generation isn't treating things right anymore. You speak reckless, you face the consequences. That's the truth. Exactly. This is very, very understandable key point. So, guys, he learned the hard way, but maybe it will make him think before he talks. Exactly. Next time, you can think before he talks. Exactly. That's reality. And maybe others watching will think too. Some that's my take on it. Exactly. Respect goes a long way. That moment might have been short. Exactly. But the reason was loud. Oh my god. Guys, let me know what you think. And did he deserve that reaction? Very good question to answer. Or do you think it went too far? Drop your thoughts in the comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more Leo Talk reaction, guys. Please react again. Stay humble, stay smart. I will catch you in the next one. Bye.